Hey yo, listen up.
Gog and Magog is only supposed to take 12 minutes. And for 250 years, no one understood what type of war would be over in 12 minutes. Now, unfortunately, we know exactly what type of war can be over in 12 minutes. That would be a nuclear war. But there are descriptions in Zechariah. It talks about people's flesh melting on their bones.
Wow.
Which is really a description of nuclear holocaust.
I guess Gog will be the leader of all this group, the nations that come against Israel. And I'm bringing you to the land of Israel. Over there will be your destruction. I'm gonna send fire to Magog. 7 years the fire will not stop. 7 years. Everywhere will be burning for 7 years. It's a 2/3 of the world will die. If you have 7 billion today, you are talking 4.5 billion people will die. 4.5 billion. How does it happen? Only with atomic war. There's no other way to kill so many people. But the Vilna Gaon already said 250 years ago that the last war really will be 9 minutes. Of course, it's going to be 7 years, everything will be burning.
No. And the Gaon of Vilna explained that the war of Gog and Magog, the final stage, will be only 12 minutes. The Western nation, the Christian nations, and the Islamic world will have a feud.
The whole world will be wiped away in less than 12 minutes.
Among themselves.
Dun 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 dun. Dun 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 dun. Dun 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 dun.
The script has already been written. Gog and Magog, which is the last final war, where there will be Avnei el-Gavish, as the prophet says, raining down on the enemy. Avnei el-Gavish are meteorites. The war of Gog and Magog is the last war. It's the final war. It's after the battles and the problems with the Persian king. And that is a war against the Jews alone. That is a war where other nations will gang up on us. How do they gang up on us? They will gang up to take away Yerushalayim from us. So what that means is that not everyone will survive. And as I said earlier, of the entire world's population, 2/3 will disappear. And when we say that, we mean everyone, even amongst us.
First off, before Mashiach comes, there's going to be a war called Gog and Magog. The war of all wars. This war is going to the prophet Zechariah chapter 14. If anyone wants to get really, really scared, go to the prophet Zechariah chapter 14. It describes a nuclear war that destroys the world. It tells you how people are going to melt, the eyes are going to spill like liquid. So the point is that Zechariah says that this war initially is going to destroy 2/3 of the population. So you have 8 billion people in the world. Right off the bat, 6 billion are gone.
We're told that nations will go to war against Jerusalem. These nations will fail. They will be destroyed. They're described in detail in these 2 books, Ezekiel 38 and 39, and Zechariah, just the last chapter. The war is going to be 2 parts, 2 nations, or 2 corporations of nations that will go to war against Jerusalem, and they will be utterly destroyed.
Deploy the Goy beam.
Well, the interesting thing about it is that there will be a war which is predicted in Ezekiel 38, 39, that it's called the War of
God wins.
Gog and Magog, I think.
Only Jesus could save us.
War. It's a war against the Mashiach and the Jews, because the nations of the world realize that the truth has arrived and that their time is over. And this will be the last attempt to recapture Israel and try to restore their former glory. Then at that war, the Mashiach ben David arrives. That's when he comes in. He enters the stage and he wipes them all out.
Just one match can ignite a world war, and it can start from Europe. They are Christians against the Muslims. Millions of Muslims want to conquer France and Germany.
One match.
Back. It's all happening. The nations will kill each other and we will remain. You come say, it is possible for every bomb to be targeted to hit a non-Jew and not a Jew.
There's a war of Gog and Magog. First one, as the Chafetz Chaim said, was 100 years ago, World War I. Second one was World War II, and we're on the cusp.
Shout out John Garatis.
All of these wars of the Gog and Magog
See
wars
through
to
it all.
bring everything into its correct order. To bring
For
the
these
Jewish
epic
people to
mixes,
raise the
nobody
flock
does it like
to the point
us.
where we are potentially supposed to be the spiritual leaders of the world, as well as the physical leaders of the world.
They are still on runway 6.
Share the link.
We need the remaining nations of Esav and Ishmael to fight it out over Israel.
Post it
We need the
everywhere.
remainder of those two to then join forces and bring everyone that's left to Israel to try and destroy Mashiach and the chosen people. This is Gog and Magog. All these things they're going to develop into World War III. Remember the Vilna Gaon almost 300 years ago. He said that the final war would take place, it would take between 7 and 12 minutes. But this is sure hinted in Zechariah 14:12. And this shall be the plague wherewith the Lord will smite all the nations who besieged Jerusalem. His flesh will waste away while he still stands on his feet. His eyes will waste away in their sockets, and his tongue shall waste away in his mouth.
And I'll just share with you some of the elements of what they describe as what will be going on in the world right prior to the Messianic age. We're told that there'll be epidemics and horrible diseases. We're told that there'll be international wars and conflicts, that there'll be famines, that there will be poverty and runaway inflation.
What are the two nations that will last until Mashiach comes? Rome and Persia. Now, if you would like to think that today's Iran is Persia, then maybe you say, okay, I got the whole story. Rome is today America. Rome is, the heirs of the ancient European world, the Roman dynasty. That's the United States of America. And Iran, that's Persia. So, at the end of days, it's going to be World War III between Iran and the United States of America.
Got one more super mix, and then we're gonna go live, cover all the Iran news.
Question number one: what is Gog and who is Gog? So we said that Gog is a leader of a nation called Magog. We don't know who it is, but that's who it is. It's a leader of a nation. Question number two: is the nation of Israel involved in this war? Well, they're going to come after us, but we're not going to even lift one bullet is not going to be shot.
Everybody give it a like. I want to see 200 likes on Rumble.
There's not going to be one shot.
Dude, they don't even know. That's sad.
One missile, nothing. The Israeli army is not involved here. Not the Israeli army, not the Israeli government, and not the Israeli people, and not the Jews who live in the land.
I don't know if it does anything.
It seems clear to me from the books of the prophets that Donald Trump is in the midst of fulfilling a series of divine missions which have not yet been completed. And it is therefore with certainty that he will be given more time to complete his positive role in the cosmic history of the Jewish people and of all mankind. That is why the numeric value of his name, Donald Trump, is identical to that of Mashiach ben David, Messiah the son of David, 424. No, he is not the Messiah, but he is on Messiah's team. He is working for God and preparing the world for the redemption.
Thank you, Jesus!
God did not save Donald Trump's life to make America great. God saved Donald Trump's life to usher the coming of the Messiah. Brothers and sisters, Donald Trump is in office right now because God is going to use this man in a way that you cannot imagine in order to usher Gog and Magog that will ultimately usher the coming of the Messiah.
So one of the things that has to happen is America has to fall. I mean, because the American-led world, the world order, that's the American-led order is going to end. That's not the same as the very end that we read in the Bible. So somehow we're going to see a collapse. And the thing is, listen, we are already deteriorating economically. Our position in the world, our enemies are rising. China is rising. Others are rising. So we're already in the neighborhood.
Help me, Jesus! Help me, Jewish God!
Adam believes the rabbis.
Help me, Jewish God!
know, the Mashiach basically is going to control the
Let's
world.
go, 10 baby
How
mamas.
is he going to do that? How all the big people in the world will basically put their ego aside and will say, okay, you are our Messiah, you are the Mashiach. Not just the Jews going to say it, all the world's going to say it. So how is it going to happen? He will be using Hatach, Donald Trump, to basically hit the nations. And that's what he's doing now. Whoever is against us, he's the only one that actually says, listen guys, I don't care. They're gonna be punished.
This prophecy is how they enslave
We have to get the people of our country, of this country, to love Israel more. I have to tell you that. We have to do it. We have to get them to love Israel more.
This was a special token of affection given by myself and the First Lady to Prime Minister and the First Lady of Israel. And it's a key. We call it a key to the White House, and it's a key to our country and to our hearts. Well, you know how I feel about the Gaza Strip. I think it's an incredible piece of important real estate, and I think it's something that we would be involved in, but having a peace force like the United States there, controlling and owning the Gaza Strip would be a good thing. And if you take the people, the Palestinians, and move them around to different countries, and you have plenty of countries that will do that. They asked him, "What do you think about Iran? Would you hit Iran?" And he goes, "As long as they don't hit the nuclear stuff." That's the thing you want to hit, right? I said, I think he's got that one wrong. Isn't that the one you're supposed to hit? You know, there are prophets that say the world will come to an end.
You can check out the rest of this video right here on BitChute.com and look up KnowMoreNews with a K. Make sure to watch the rest of this video, but speak your mind on what you think about everything you just saw. Comment, like, and follow for more.